Walks with Wally. Thoughts with Wally. As we walk the neighborhood, things that just bother the shit out of me. And let's post it. Why the heck not? Look at that sun in the background. Beautiful. It's like 40 degrees. You know, I'm wearing shorts and sandals because I'm a typical weird white guy with my Deadpool outfit. So, politics have been driving me crazy. And in general, I feel like there's no solution. And at this point, why do the politics get to continue to perpetuate the bullshit? So we live in a world where in this country, everything is being corporately taken away from our individual rights. Explain to me why there are more houses that are being bought up and then turned into renters by corporations. Explain to me why the major presidential candidates get these platforms to parade around with their lies. It's like we need entertainment. Do we really need to be entertained? It seems to me the theatrics of America are more valuable than the freedoms that America provides based on perception. You walk around, everything seems normal, but you look further, look deeper, and it seems like it's all going to hell in a handbasket. Then you go back into the question, well, maybe the theatrics about how everything is evil and falling apart is just part of the bull. Don't know. Have to investigate. And when you start investigating, you find evidence. Evidence that the lies seem to win. Lobbying for billions of dollars so that control can be placed in the hands of the corporations, no matter what the industry, food industry, housing industry. I just don't get it. I mean, I understand. don't put me, don't take me wrong. Big ass company buys more and more and more to satisfy their shareholders, I suppose. That's the big ongoing thought. So, Yum Brand. I'm not saying them. That's just an example. Maybe it's a bad one. Oh well. Lobbying so that they can build more crap and sell us more crap. For instance, have a stranglehold perhaps on chicken. And in that surges the price of chicken for us. I'm not saying that's accurate, but think about all the food that's bought up by restaurants and how it's processed. Hey, look, 2 poops. It's a good thing I got bags. Oh no, that was a funky style pee. His hind legs were... Anyways, Wally. Every restaurant on the planet buys all the chicken. So then, presumably, the price of chicken will just keep on skyrocketing, whether or not we're involved in that process. You know, one of the easiest solutions would be to help satisfy and slow down that curve. Stop buying chicken from the fast food restaurants and the sit-down restaurants. There's so much control within the people's hands But none of us are willing to take it because we all want our convenient, easy life. And that convenience and that ease stacks on cost. I mean, I look at my friends and family members who have less, living paycheck to paycheck, and when I see the convenience being used, it bothers me, because it's like, oh, yeah, check out that chicken sandwich that you got from Wendy's for like $5 or whatever, $6. Get your chicken from the store, cut it down, pound it out, deep fry it yourself, save yourself a couple dollars, and take the money away from that restaurant, just like that. Eggs being this big thing, milk, all these things. I guess milk is lesser. I can't imagine too many restaurants that are having stranglehold on the dairy industry. I think the dairy industry is just jacked up, period. But I don't understand how or why exactly, except for the maltreatment of cows and all that other bullshit. Oh, look, here's a massive factory farm that just raises cattle for the sake of slaughtering them and milking them. I wonder how things got so bad. It's like, practices are terrible. The demand is high. People take more than they need. I mean, that's a thing all by itself. Look at the toilet paper. These are all just thoughts, aren't they? There's no specific through line, but it's all connected. And I think it just, a lot of it comes back down to the lobbying and the permissive corporate bullshit that continues to give us what they will give us. George Carlin, yeah, he's a comedian. Why was he so funny? Because his thoughts were insightful in relation to what was really going on. And that's the same with a lot of good comedians. Insightful thoughts that are uncomfortable, which is what makes us laugh so hard, that are true. Go to your grocery store. Look for some Fruity Pebbles. If they're not on the shelf, that's because A, they say they didn't produce enough. Sure. B, maybe they didn't want to stock them on the shelf for you to create some kind of marketing control. Yeah, that sounds weird. But I feel, not for Fruity Pebbles specifically, but other areas of industry, of food industry, where it's like, hey, we only have so much chicken. And are we going to give it to the independent consumer, or are we going to sell it to the restaurants? My thought is that every single chicken farm, per se, would lean into selling bigger contracts with guaranteed money, then potentially, putting it on the shelf, on the market, for us to fight over. Like I said, these thoughts are hazy, I suppose. But there's something to it. People need to take control of what they can, because the control is gone. How do you stop price gouging from happening? Don't participate. All these, fastings and diets and everything that people talk about. Here's a way to create a diet. Unless it's medically necessary to survive, don't buy it. There's your new diet. Whole Dr. Seuss book waiting to happen. How do you take control back from corporate America? Don't buy their crap. I'm a big I buy stupid things too. I'm not innocent. But if it's not there, I could survive without it. In general, there are few things in this world that I could not live without. Did I say that right? If I wasn't allowed to drink milk, I could take a break. It wouldn't be that big of a deal. Find other ways to supplement the diet, whatever. I mean, my teacher in high school didn't even like milk. She would drink water with her cereal. I don't even eat cereal anymore. But imagine just taking that small of a step to either A, save a couple dollars, B, to readjust the market. It takes a unified voice to target a product and to say no. There's plenty of examples throughout history, 70s, especially 60s and 70s. How was change aggregated? By saying no. No, we won't ride those buses. No, we won't buy those grapes. Like, those are small examples and those are real movements. But it seems to me that the public at large needs to get behind such ideas. Like, hey, we really don't like how these things are going. So to properly win the fight, we have to abstain. Which is weird. How do you... The number one thing to stay or on top of things is to be active with whatever's going on. But to stop a corporation from gouging you, abstain. If you don't like The Rock's new movie, so to speak, don't go. Or The Rock, I guess, and his political values. That would hurt not just him. That would hurt all the people that worked on the movie. That would hurt the director, the producers, the studio. And then the studio would take that into consideration the next time they hired him. The Rock's a good dude, I think. I can't tell. He's a hard worker. He's a business guy. Business guys are smart, savvy, whatever. But imagine if you torpedoed his products on purpose. He'd go away. Imagine torpedoing people's products on purpose. Hey, we don't necessarily agree with Giant Eagle's politics and how they've been conducting themselves. Imagine a Giant Eagle parking lot that was always empty. Giant Eagle would have to reconsider some shit. And Giant Eagle's our local grocery store, by the way. That's a huge chain between a few states. I'm not even saying that's a good example. None of these are good examples. They're just examples. Words. There are no good words. There are no bad words. They're just words. But these thoughts, they sit and they ruminate. And it's like, what's going on in this world? What's going to happen to my kids? I got 2 girls. They're young. Are they going to be able to do this, what I'm doing right here? Walk around the neighborhood without, like, an unsurmountable amount of debt over their head? Or the concern of malnutrition, so they have to buy the latest, pharma, whatever, from Pfizer to supplement their ability to live? It's all interconnected. 14.5-minute tangent that goes all over the map. But the reality is that everything is connected. We're connected. And if we utilize that connection as one voice, we would be significantly more powerful, whoever we are. The divisions help it so that we don't take control of what's going on above. Yes, there are political problems that are skyrocketing over the last several years. But it seems to me those independent problems are being propagated and perpetuated by the higher service of political division. Division between people helps keep people that don't deserve it, especially in power. Additional options to have a fight. I don't know. So imagine a world where Bud Light sells its product with whatever label it wants to sell, because ultimately they're only adding that fucking label because it's going to sell some extra product. Do you honestly believe that Anheuser-Busch has a real stake in the game? Yeah, it's called selling more of their crap. Bud Light's trash anyways. Sorry for you Bud Light fans, for the sake of its taste. But the way it's advertised shouldn't have ever mattered. Who cares what's on the can? Who cares what's on the can? I have my own personal problems with all of that nonsense that I don't want to go into per se, but it stems from concern, which is what the whole thing is. Create concern so that there's division amongst the masses, and a marketing tool to sell more product. Like, I really want to know if the people at Anheuser-Busch actually give a crap. Because I bet they don't. Like, putting a label on something to sell a product is just sparkly, shiny bullshit. Making something shiny so that somebody else wants to buy it is all their goal is, from my perspective. Doesn't matter if it's that particular label or any of the other. Why do rebrandings even occur? Why do companies go about changing things and adapting to the marketplace? Because they want to sell their crap. Is it politically motivated all the time? No, I suppose not. But how do you get people to want to buy it? Make adaptations to the labelings and the commercials and everything, and spin it so that people will buy. It's garbage. I'm gonna say again, I don't care what people say about like the label of Bud Light or whatever. Bud Light is trash. Most of the places I've ever worked, Bud Light is a trash product. Light beer in general is for those that want to drink light beer. Call it Michelob, call it Miller Lite, call it Bud Light. All them things taste the same, especially to people that don't drink beer. Sorry for the beer drinkers. I'd love to watch those blind taste tests amongst you that would sit and delineate between those products. Dang, trees down everywhere. That one is on somebody's house. That freaking sucks. I don't know if that's a good shot. There. It's on their house. Whoop. There it is. Alright, sorry Wally. I interrupted his flow. If Michelob changes their label, guess what? People are going to buy a bunch of it and shoot it with AR-15s. Like, who cares? Change your label. Buy the product because it's what you like to drink. Don't do this politically motivated bull. That doesn't make sense. I mean, it does. Again, it's selling product. Watching somebody take a bunch of Bud Light and shoot it with a gun. Anheuser-Busch still won. You bought their shit, stupid. I'm gonna have a politically charged, motivated, whatever, so that I can prove that Anheuser is a bunch of commie, whatever, blah, 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 blahs. Like, okay, good for you. But why'd you buy it? All that does is boost their sales. Saying that you won't buy it too, that's one thing. Making sure that a bunch of people don't buy it. Bud Light would go out of business. I don't do it for the politically charged thing. Who cares about that? You want to take control of the corporation, don't buy their shit at all. Ever. We'll stop buying, waffles. Let's stop buying Eggo waffles. Not for political motivation or not for any particular reason, just to prove that we can sink a company. We, the people, have so much more power if we're unified, but the divisions are put in place so that we don't. Yeah. I'm trying to think of other companies of weird examples that I can bring up. That one is only because of what's going on, obviously. Beer. Okay. Vodka. In the 90s and the aughts, Grey Goose was king. Grey Goose, Ciroc, like these things were called for by name. In the last 10 years or so, especially since gluten's been a conversation piece, Tito's has taken over. Now, imagine, if you will, everybody just stop buying Tito's and start buying New Amsterdam. They're both corn vodkas. Tito's is a little smoother, I suppose. But if your bartender's good, that vodka drink's going to taste good regardless of what kind is in it. Just, mixture of products. Unless you're getting down to the bottom of the barrel stuff. Then you're just talking about killing yourself because it's the goal. Yeah, that's why I drink it. Well, there you go. But you want to sink a company. Imagine a world where everybody stops buying Tito's, everybody starts buying New Amsterdam, the same product goes off the shelf, and Tito's just sinks and disappears. It's not impossible, but it would take a unified voice. It would take directive. It would take action. And it all comes back down to that lobbying and all that other BS back in the DCs. How much money's being forked over to, I don't know, how much money is being spent on altering the laws for the benefit of the company is unfair and ridiculous. There's no reason that we all drink Bud Light and Tito's, or that we eat Eggo waffles, drink milk and eggs and all these branding thingies, except that's what they give us. And then we get stuck in our familiarity. We don't branch outside of that. I guess that makes sense too. People stick with the familiar quite naturally, so they will continue to buy the things that they know. It takes an outsider's opinion to help change that, or an introduction of new thoughts to help change that. I really want to see, more than anything, in this random, 20 some odd minute long thing here, I want to see people unify and actually vote for change. You vote Republican, you vote Democrat, there's not going to be much change. And if you honestly believe there will be, you're clearly stuck in the theatrics. Oh man, if I just voted for Trump, he's going to really change everything. I'm he might put on a show that he's going to change some things, but he is in bed with the whole system. Go ahead. You're not going to change much if the same political parties are always in charge of everything. They figured out their monopoly ages ago. Look, listen, people can only vote two ways. So as long as the main corporation above that is like, we're just going to throw a lot of money at both of those things, nothing will ever change. I don't know. There. 25 and a half minute walk plus. We were walking for 30 minutes or so. With a lot of anger and emotion and resignation. There's a lot. Anxiety, I suppose. I'm anxious about the way that things are. Why are things the way they are? And for people that might say, there's nothing wrong, you're just paranoid and playing into the overall theatrics of what's going on. Like, you just watch all your freedoms keep on disappearing. And when those freedoms are taken away, say, incrementally over the course of 15 and 20 years, then you just have this weird conversation of, well, remember, it used to be nicer 15 to 20 years ago, and then those people start to die off. So then you wind up back at a starting cycle of, hey, how come we don't have any change? It's like, oh yeah, whenever it was conversed last, it got squashed, and then those people died off, so then the whole cycle got to start again. I might have crazy ideas, sure, but I can't honestly believe they're not founded in nothing. Like, I keep looking down. I don't mean to. Political thoughts, walks with Wally in Medina from some random white guy who has more than he deserves sometimes. I work hard. I'm here to make people happy. Like, that's my goal. Not my goal, but like, that's my natural inclination. I work hard to make people happy. And it's not on an entertainment level. It is on a service level. I'm here to serve people. There should be real answers in that, but who knows? I need to shave, and shower, and brush my teeth. I'm going to have some coffee that I bought at Aldi. Because here's another brand that we can make fun of. Starbucks. You want to put Starbucks out of business? Stop spending $5 to $6 on Starbucks. Okay? Spend $5 or $6 on a bag of coffee. And then you have coffee for weeks. And if you're not so ignorant, if you really, really need all these flavors and everything, go and buy them at the store and make your own. If it's available at the store. I don't know. But I do have to stop talking because I should do things that are more productive than talking to a camera and posting random videos to an audience that doesn't exist. If you like this, like and subscribe, favorite, all those things, share, YouTube, whatever keywords I have to say. Anyways, peekaboo!